All right, so the idea for making notes in the digital notebook from the debrief from the astronauts, or vice versa, the debrief from mission control, is so you're going to open up your digital notebook and I add the extra pages to the bottom. So if you'll notice, slide 13 is the week one. And then slide 14, I've got all of the images that we used or that we created in last week's class. And then here's the slide with the instructions. If you want to see it better, you can go to zoom to 100%. And here are the instructions. So on this page, you're going to summarize the information that you got in your debrief from the astronauts class. They may have answered the same questions, but they'll have come up with very different answers, right? So last week, astronauts and mission control answered the same questions, but as I mentioned, they came up with different answers. So in the spirit of learning from and with each other, this is a way that we're making it happen. So some things to include in these notes, in this summary, is your own version of the notes that they made on the board, right? So with the astronauts classes, we made these notes. Your job is to summarize them, maybe write them in a different way that's kind of understandable to you. And I suggest if you're looking at this and it doesn't mean anything to you, ask some of your classmates before asking me. All right, I want you guys to use the Google chat rooms that you created last week, is mission control group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and talk to each other about this sort of stuff. Something else to talk about, images or diagrams of your own or from the internet to supplement your notes. And then some terms or definitions, right? So the idea here being, for example, we'll look at this first image here, and my eye is brought over to the food web here. Okay, so they talked about food webs, so I need to have some notes about food webs. So maybe I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to type in food web. I'm going to look for some images. Oh, here's a nice one. So I'm going to open it up. Oh no, I don't need to open it up. Sorry. I just want to right click, copy the image, paste it. Right? And I like to make things look nice, so we're going to center it on the page. What does any of this mean though? So if we go back to this page here and we look, so we're going to, there's a whole bunch of animals here, but this, if you'll notice, is a food chain over here, and it's got some terms: producers, herbivores, omnivores, carnivores, right? So then maybe you want to insert a table for some terms and definitions. And then we'll just drag that down a little bit. Didn't work. We're going to put it here. I like to stretch it out, fill the whole page. But the idea is that we got our term here and our definition here, where we write producer makes its own food. Herbivore eats plants. Omnivore eats plants and animals. Carnivore eats animals. All right, and then we can go back to this slide over here, scroll to the top. What are some other terms? Oh, look, carrying capacity, limiting factors. Right, so, oops. Carrying capacity. The max number of a population sustainable in an ecosystem. Limiting factors are factors that limit the size of a population in an ecosystem. For example, food, water, or sorry, I'll do it like this. Example, food, water, space, shelter. Okay? And so maybe it's going to be important that you want to add food or water or space or shelter, like definitions to those terms, right? If we go back to this here, this slide, we just keep going through it like that.